Hello everybody. This is the third video on the axle skeleton, and in this video I will cover the rib cage. To see complete rib cage and attachment of the ribs to the vertebral column and to the sternum, please refer to your lecture, because what I have here, I have just separate ribs and I have the sternum, right? Okay, so the rib cage is made of 12 pairs of ribs and sternum and costal cartilage. So this part over here is costal cartilages, this is sternum, and I have 12 pair of ribs. So ribs can be divided into three categories. We have ribs that have 2 points of attachment. And those ribs, let's say, if I take this rib over here or this rib, we call them true ribs because they attaches to the vertebra and to the sternum through individual cartilage, right? So I believe this is my rib number 3, right? So over here I would have attachment, maybe it's 4. Yes, 3 or 4. I think that's a 3. Here's my rib number 2, right there. So this rib would be attached to the vertebra in the posterior side and to its own cartilage and through its own cartilage to the sternum. So the name for true vertebra is vertebra sternal. And in the name you can see both, in the name you can hear both points of attachment, vertebra, sternal. So those are ribs 1 through 7. So here's my costal cartilages, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the 7th true rib is the last one that has its own cartilage that attaches to the sternum. So rib 8, 9, and 10, they do have cartilage, but their cartilage attaches to the cartilage of rib 7. And those ribs are called vertebra chondral because they have point of attachment to vertebrae, and then they attach to the cartilage of rib 7. And the last 2 ribs, we call them floating ribs because they only have 1 point of attachment, and those will be corresponding thoracic vertebra. And we call them vertebral ribs. So vertebra sternal, vertebra chondral, and vertebral. Okay, so now we want to look at a typical rib. And you need to identify a head. So head will be this part over here, right? So that's the head. Then we have neck, so that's the neck. Now this part here is called tubercle, right? So that's a tubercle, and tubercle articulates with the transverse process of a vertebra. Then angle, and angle will be right here where rib kind of, curves, right? So here would be an angle. So head, neck, tubercle, angle, and on inferior surface of the rib, you will see this groove, right? So that's a groove, right? And this is the space for intercostal vessels, blood vessels, and nerves, right? Okay. So now next one is sternum, right? Sternum has 3 parts. This part, upper part, middle part, and lower part. This is called manubrium, the body, and xiphoid process. So on the manubrium you have a jugular notch that will be over here, jugular notch, and this little bump over here, the manubrium attaches to the body, right here. So this is called sternal angle. And where we have sternal angle, we have the second rib attached to this area. And sternal angle you can palpate. So if you feel your sternum, you can palpate the jugular notch, and then if you go down your sternum, you will feel like bump, and that would be sternal angle. This is the landmark on your body. And you know where we have sternal angle, that's where the second rib is attached, and where the second rib is attached, this is the base of the heart is located. So heart, the base of the heart is located. Oh, I think you only see my hand. Right, sorry, right here, right? So jugular notch, manubrium, sternal angle, body, and xiphoid process. And also costal cartilages. So those are all costal cartilages over here. And the last thing you need to identify, costal notches. And costal notches will be this area here where the cartilage is attached. So that's the costal notches. Okay, so that's it for this video, and I recorded 3 videos about exoskeleton. Please make sure you watch all of them, and next videos that I will record will be on appendicular skeleton. Hope it was helpful.